Shout out to you guys for staying through. I'm sorry, I'm a tad late. Let's make sure the audio is fine by my side. Yeah, it seems like the audio is fine. Uh, let me see. Oh, Gogo Owante, shout out to you. Hello, Gunnar. Shout out to you for joining me on this live. We're talking transfer. I was expecting my man you made to join me on this live stream. For some reason, he hasn't come through yet, so I'm expecting to join me while we talk transfers and all the latest news making the round. So make sure you stick a like on the video. Very, very important for the algorithm and for the growth of the channel. If you like my content, do not forget to make sure you subscribe too. Now, it's looking positive on the Arsenal end. It seems like Declan Rice has made up his mind he wants to join us. I'm ecstatic. We know the fear of Man City, the blue large whale, is a beginning of wisdom for most Arsenal fans. A lot of Arsenal fans are panicking this week when the news came out that the Man City were actually going to make an approach and substantiate it with a bid. But for some reason, we are yet to see any substantial bid from Manchester City. Now, latest reports shows. Let me see if I can share my screen. Let me share the screen. Let me enlarge it. Give me a moment. So let's read this, right? Manchester City are aware that London bond the phrasing of these people, right? Okay, I'll go with it. Man City are aware that London born Rice has been expecting to move to Arsenal and will not make a bid for the player if he remains steadfast in his desire. West Ham are confident that a bid of £100 million is on its way from at least one of the interested parties, according to the Mirror. What do we actually draw from this? Even though Man City are a bigger club, obviously, they just won a treble. They are recently more successful than us. But Arsenal still have the pool. Mikel Arteta, Edu, and the hierarchy, they've done their groundwork on this potential deal. Even though Man City can blow us out of the water based on their finances, but it looks like Declan Rice wants to come and join us at the Emirates, and I'm happy. Now, Arsenal must not mess this up. The player is doing his bit. We might have to just overpay a little bit more. See, I am for us being very shrewd with our finances because we still have to bring in players for the other facet of the team we need to improve, right? But at the same time, we know West Ham are kind of greedy. They put out this news. They were the one that have been pushing and making sure that Arsenal fans are hysterical. Arsenal fans are blowing up Twitter to apply more pressure on the Arsenal hierarchy. Now they've done their bit, and I'm happy that the Arsenal hierarchy have actually been steadfast. They were not moved by the emotionality of the Arsenal fan base. They're not moved by the insults. They are going to negotiate what is best for the club and what is good for our finances going forward. But at the same time, we have to be balanced. At the same time, we need to be reasonable and pay a little bit more. If we pay a little bit more, it will make it easy for us to acquire this deal. It will make it as easy for us to acquire this deal. We must not mess up this deal. A lot of Arsenal fans are banking on the fact that we need to get Rice. I get it. There is no other player that we can turn to if this deal doesn't come true. I'm just speaking in hypotheticals. Like, don't crucify me, right? I don't see any other player at the moment that we can turn to if this doesn't come off. So we need to make sure, even though I understand there is no player that is irreplaceable. That's my belief. It might not be replaceable by one player, maybe by changing the system. It might replace it by buying one or two more players. But at the same time, come on, every player is very replaceable. I want Declan Rice. Yes, I'm not going to hide that fact. I want Declan Rice. I know most of you want Declan Rice, but sometimes what you want, sometimes you can't attain them. And it's none of your fault. It is not your fault. Sometimes you cannot get what you want. But let's see how it goes. The news hasn't the move has not moved forward the last for 24 hours. But I'm sure in the background there are conversations being held, there are things being moved around, and let's see how it will go. I still have hope we'll get this deal done. I'm 70% positive we'll get this deal done. It will be a difficult deal. I am very, very positive we will get this deal done. Now, aside from Declan Rice, the Timber deal too. Let me see. So let's talk about the Timber deal, right? We saw that a few weeks, no, just a few days. Is it up to a week or a day? A few days ago, we were David honestly dropped the exclusive regarding the the Timber deal, right? And we bidded, I think 30 million euros, but they wanted 50 million euros, and we have to negotiate that deal. We have to negotiate that deal. So let's read the news. Timber is on the verge of joining us now. It depends on the second bid. We know our first bid was already declined. Ajax felt that that was not good enough for the deal to progress, which is fair. Most first bids always decline because the selling club and a buying club have to reach some sort of compromise. It is very difficult and very. I've never seen any time where the first bid, most time the first bids don't just get accepted for some reasons, because you're testing with the water, you're trying to see how you can actually negotiate the best deal for yourself as a buyer, while the sellers are trying to get the best deal for themselves. So most of the time the first bids don't get accepted. Then second or third bids most of the time get accepted. So let's continue to read this. Timber is on the verge of joining Arsenal. It depends on the second bid, with an agreement expected between 40 to 45 million pounds plus bonuses. The player wants to join Arsenal. Yeah, the player seems to be very keen on moving from Ajax to Arsenal. He has been sold the project. He loved the project. I think we'll get this deal done. Now, if you look at the profile of Timber, he's a player I've watched. He was heavily linked last season. Don't forget, he was heavily linked to Manchester United. Manchester United tried to get him, but they couldn't agree a deal. Manchester United actually went for his partner in Lisandro Martinez, who they acquired. Let's not forget, too, we're actually actively linked with Lisandro Martinez, and we're not willing to overpay. We don't mind you. They are very notorious. They have the notoriety of overpaying for players in terms of transfer fee and wages. Now, and I'm happy, even though I'm going to pivot a little bit, I'm happy what they are facing. Manchester United and Chelsea are very notorious for overpaying for players. But suddenly, when both clowns want to do a deal, they can't actually find an agreement. I find it very hypocritical that for some reason, Manchester United are, are very, very upset and aggravated about how Chelsea are placing unrealistic transfer fee on Mason Mount. I find that very, very ironic. Their fans and the hierarchy are always boasting of having enough money to pay for these deals, right? Just pay the money. Is that not the popular cliche? Pay the money. Why are they reluctant? They are known for overpaying for players. Suddenly, they want to be shrewd. This is crazy. It's like, let's break it down to normal life and what happens to most people. You cannot be known for being in VIP and spending popping champagne in the club. Then when you now start seeing another lady, suddenly you want to go to regular. No, you can't do that. It's how you start, that's how you finish. See, most clubs know that Manchester United are notorious for overpaying for players. And most clubs will hold their nerve and they will stick to their guns, knowing Manchester United will come back around. This, in my opinion, is a fake news of Manchester United are walking away from the deal. Nah, see, nobody is buying that bluff. They'll come around. compared to how Arsenal like to do deals, we like to make sure we get value for money. Now, I'm not saying sometimes like the Ramsdale deal, the Ben White deal, you pay a little bit more sometimes. But most clubs know that Arsenal are very shrewd. Arsenal are going to penny pinch, and Arsenal are going to haggle for the last pound. See, Arsenal are going to haggle for the last pound. Now, sometimes that looks very annoying for certain clubs, but in the other times, it helps in negotiations. Unlike other clubs who want to just go there and overpay, and suddenly when you run out of cash or money, because I don't believe in this myth of certain clubs have bottomless pit of money. It's a lie. Even Man City pulls out of deals because this myth that Manchester City always pay whatever clubs want is a damn lie. People don't even think the statistics is there. Let's not forget, was it 2 seasons ago? Last season they wanted Harry Kane, and they were not going to pay stupid money for Harry Kane. They put out of the deal. Last season they wanted Cucurella. They refused to pay stupid money for Cucurella, and they moved away. Now for Declan Rice, they want to make sure, unless Declan Rice agrees that he wants to come to Man City, and they will match or a little bit improve on what Arsenal has been there. They're not going to go there and just be ridiculous and just pay anything West Ham wants. You don't do that. This myth that the Saudi-owned clubs or the like of the PSGs, the Newcastles, the Manchester Cities have this bottomless amount of cash, it's a myth, because if you continue to overpay, you will eventually run out of cash. So I love the Arsenal model. Now, some fans are impatient with it, they don't like it, and I understand them. I understand that. If you want to be unreasonable, you want to just say because it's not your money, it's club's money. But if you love your club, you don't want your club to fall into insolvency. People forget that in the last few years, we've not been in Champions League, and the Kroenkes have been buying relatively close level of Champions League players. You have to pay off Aubameyang, Kolasinac, Socrates. Nobody talks about paying off those. Ozil. Nobody wants to talk about that. Just go and buy the next star. Yes, we want to improve our club. At the same time, there are some deficits we need to take care of. Nobody give the Kroenkes their kudos for paying off players that were redundant, players that were not improving the team, that were becoming a thorn, becoming an agent of disharmony in the camp. Nobody talks about that. All we want to talk about, go and buy the next superstar and pay. Pepe has been a flop, 72 million pounds flop. Nobody talks about the loss the club is going to take on that. No, just go and pay the money and pay for the next star. Like sometimes we need to be sympathetic and empathetic to the club too. I'm not saying drop your standard, but there is quantifiable context and relativity when you talk about these subjects. It's not just black and white. It's so convenient, right, that some content creators will refuse to talk about the fact that the Kroenkes are taking a loss on Pepe. They took a loss on Ozil. They took a loss on Aubameyang, Guendouzi. No one want to talk about that. Just go and buy the next star. It does not work like that. So, on Timber, I love the player profile. Can play right back, can play center half. Playing center half for me will not be his biggest strength because of his height, even though Lisandro Martinez has shown us that height sometimes does not matter. But personally, for me, if you're going to be a center defender, height matters to me because we know how bullish, tall, aggressive, imposing most of the strikers in the English Premiership are. So I think height matters to me. I want height. I want athleticism, recovery pace, ability to tackle, to match your opponent one-on-one. Those are key attributes I seek out in a central defender. Now you can play there for some games if Saliba is unavailable and Ben White is unavailable. He can play there, so it will be like the second to third choice, which is fantastic. And we still have Tomiyasu who can do a job there, which is fantastic. So I think primarily his job will be as a right back. We know even though Ben White was Actually played well last season as a right back, but we know that is not his natural position, and we know he took a strain on Ben White playing there, and he didn't have any uh, quality competition at that right back position. So I like the fact that Arsenal are beginning to build a strong squad. Kai Havertz is on his way. Regardless of what some people might think about Kai Havertz, I don't think it will be a flop. I understand that Chelsea, let's call it what it is, he flopped at Chelsea. But that doesn't mean it's going to be a flop at Arsenal. He's still 24. You can't write off a player who 3 to 4 years ago, most teams wanted him. Most teams were seeking his signature. Now, it hasn't gone at Chelsea. But at the same time, how many strikers have actually performed at Chelsea to a good standard? Most strikers have not performed well at Chelsea. So I think sometimes we are we unfairly criticize this. Give me a minute, let me check my audio. I think we unfairly criticize these people, which you shouldn't do. Is my stream lagging? I'm coming. Let me make sure it's not lagging. It looks like the stream is lagging. I don't know why. It's lagging. I don't know why. No, it's back. It's back. So we need to just give players some grace sometimes. We need to. we need to. We've seen players who quote unquote flopped in one team and go to the other team and they were fantastic. And we see players who were fantastic in one team and they get a transfer to another team and they flop. Let's not forget when people were so sure Fernando Torres was going to be a success at Chelsea and they bought it from Liverpool and he flopped at Chelsea. Diego Forlan flopped at Manchester United, he went to Atletico Madrid, became a success. Thierry Henry flopped at Juventus, came to Arsenal, became a world-class success. So we cannot judge certain players or all players on their past performance at a certain club, especially at the instability at Chelsea. Chelsea have been very, very full of instability for the past, I can say for the past 10 years, even though they've won some trophies by accident in those years, but you cannot maintain these chaotic winnings all the time. It is not, you can't continue that. It's not sustainable. Now, have they gotten the Europa League? Yes. The Champions League? Yes. The Premiership? But it's not sustainable to continue this chaotic process and continue to win with it. So, I'm expecting Arsenal to get that deal wrapped up. I don't know how soon. Timber is keen on joining us. So let's see how it progresses. According to reports, Kai Havertz will have done his medicals today. Even though we have not seen the ITKs leak any picture to us. I'm surprised nobody has gotten a picture of Kai Havertz's medical because we know how some people just find a way to just get certain informations, pictures and whatever information they get. So let's see how it goes. So those are the latest transfer conversations that are going on. Declan Rice, Kai Havertz should have done his medical, should be announced next week. Timber, another player we should be submitting the next bid for, and hopefully we can wrap it up. I was expecting the Declan Rice deal to be wrapped up this weekend. It's looking like we will not be able to do that. Maybe early next week, both Timber and Declan Rice deal should be wrapped up. I'm positive. Now, Arsenal, Edu and Richard Garlick need to move with some alacrity. Let's not drag our heels. Let's not over-negotiate this. Rice has said he wants to come. Let's take full advantage of that and get this deal wrapped up as quick as possible. As quick as possible. He wants to come. Let's get it wrapped up. Timber, we know Bayern interested, but you're still Bayern. I just want to go to London. I want the Arteta project. I want to go down and play for the Gunners. Let's wrap that up too. 40 million pounds is not too much for that player. It's 22. We signed him on a 6-year deal. I think that's a fantastic deal. We can have him for the next 6 years and sell him on. He's a good player, very, very good player. You can win some trophies and sell Timber on. And if you look at our backline, I'm loving what I'm saying. If you look at the backline, Zinchenko, Kerentieni, two good players, even though defensively, Kerentieni is a better player, but Zinchenko is a better footballer, the more smarter footballer. The left-sided central defense, we have Kivio, who came in leaps and bounds at the end of the season with Gabriel, who's very, very solid. Even though some of you argue he had a few bozo moments in the beginning of the season, but he has cleaned that out. Then we have Saliba and Ben White, and we still have if we sign Timber, who can play as a right-sided defender and can play as right back. I have Ben who can play as right-sided defender, central defender rather, and a right back. So defensively, we are looking great. Now, Holding, please, can we just get rid of him? This is nothing personal against Holding. I just think he's not good enough for the next level we are heading to. We saw the drop in quality once we brought in Holding into the fold. This is not his fault of Holding. He is not just up to that level. Now, maybe Rob Holding can play for the likes of Baltimore, for the likes of Nottingham Forest, but for likes of Arsenal, where we are going in the Champions League, competing for the league, in the FA Cup and the Carling Cup, I'm sorry, Rob Holding is not up to that level. So need to get rid of him. But you check out the personnel we have in the defensive group. It's looking great for next season. It is looking great. We have numbers, which is quantity and quality. That's what I want for us now. Not just quantity alone. We're going to have quantity, have quality to go alongside it. So it's looking great. So if you're going to watch this on a playback, do me a favor by sticking a like on the video. Very, very important. Please, please, please. I beseech you guys to stick a like on the video, subscribe, and share the video. Let's grow this community and this channel together. So this will be all for tonight. Hopefully, I'll come back tomorrow for more latest updates. Hopefully, at that time, maybe we'll be announcing Declan Rice or Timber. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Any disagreement, any suggestions, what you think about my topics I spoke about, leave it in the comment section. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.